Hello there guys, and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars news video. Once again, I'm back at it with the leaks because yesterday we got even more potential details about the KOTOR project that's been making the rounds recently. Last Saturday I did a video covering the KOTOR rumours, however now I have even more to talk about. Now, if you want to stay up to date with all things Star Wars gaming news, leaks and more, then be sure to subscribe to the channel with those notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any future videos. So the news on this leak is that it seems likely that the KOTOR game is in fact being made by Aspyr Media. For those who aren't familiar with this studio, they're the ones who brought KOTOR 2 to iOS in December last year. You may remember my video on that, and also in the last 2 years they've brought Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast and Episode 1 Racer to the PS4 and Nintendo Switch. Aspyr has made a name for itself over the last 25 years as a studio that ports games from one system to another, as well as making their own original games. Originally they ported PC games to Mac, and more recently things like KOTOR 2 to mobile, and all the other things that I just mentioned as well. Even way back in the day, Aspyr ported over Star Wars games as well from PC to Mac, so they've had a very long relationship with Lucasfilm, so it wouldn't really come as much of a surprise to hear them potentially working on a new Star Wars game. KOTOR has been rumoured for a good 5 to 6 years now, and recently it's been stated that the KOTOR project in development is outside of EA, and this was reported by both Jason Schreier and the Bespin Bulletin. Jason being a very well known source of reliable information, and the Bespin Bulletin also being a pretty trusted leaker within the Star Wars community. It's also recently been reported that not only is there a new KOTOR game in the works, but also that KOTOR 1 and 2 will be in console ports later this year, very likely to be from Aspyr Media. This was reported on by Jordan Mason, another fairly reliable Star Wars leaker, and also by a guy on Reddit called Orca is not alone, with him claiming to have a source inside Lucasfilm Games. With this rumoured KOTOR project, it's been said that it will take elements from KOTOR 1 and 2 to essentially bring it all into the Star Wars canon, as reported by Jordan Mason in an article for CineLinks. It's been stated by Lucasfilm that all Star Wars games releasing will continue to focus on the canon, unless of course it's just a console port of an old game, and if we are to get KOTOR 1 and 2 later this year as leak suggests for the PlayStation and Switch, I think it would be a really great setup for a reimagination of the KOTOR series in order to bring it back into the canon within the next couple of years. The main reason why Aspyr seems likely to be at the helm of this new project is because of something Jason Schreier said on a Reset Era thread. Before I get to that though, Aspyr was recently acquired by Embracer Group for $100 million to join their Saber Interactive Group, one of 6 groups within the company that owns 57 studios and over 200 game franchises across the world. In a video from Embracer Group talking about the acquisition of Aspyr, they said that Aspyr is working on a AAA title with a budget of around $70 million, which is huge. The Aspyr executive touched upon the fact that they found success with the World War Z licensed IP, and that they're currently working on a game with a more wide-reaching IP, which could very well be hinting at Star Wars. At the end of the video, another executive joked about KOTOR 3 and other console ports for Star Wars games, with others having a bit of a giggle in the video. Now take what you will from that, but I'll leave a link to this video in the description for you to check out if you're interested, but it does seem very likely that they could very well be working on this rumoured KOTOR project alongside the return of KOTOR 1 and 2 with console ports. Going back to Jason Schreier's comment, people saw this video and began to speculate on this, with Jason Schreier saying, someone then responded to that with, I thought you said no one would guess it, with Jason saying that nobody had guessed it in a previous thread. Jason is a very trusted source within the industry, and whilst you shouldn't take any of this as confirmation, I think it could very well be likely that we'll see some kind of announcement over the coming months. Video game industry analyst who goes by the name MoroNL on Twitter also claims that it's likely to be Aspyr who are working on this project, and has made a thread of why he believes this. Firstly, he talks about job listings. Aspyr has a ton of openings in all areas such as combat and level design, cinematics, UI UX, animation and more. Most of the job listings refer to a AAA title being made in the Unreal Engine with interactive conversations and narrative driven cinematic content. Diving into them a little more, level designers are required to assist in quest scripting, quest content and level design, whilst combat designers need to create engaging encounters in a rich and immersive world, defining combat roles and crafting AI behaviour to build interesting enemies and bosses. Combat designers also need to be passionate about action combat and have a love for RPGs. This could of course be absolutely anything, but as stated by the Aspyr executive, they're currently working on a wide-reaching licensed IP, and with all the rumours going around, along with what Jason Schreier said, it seems very likely that this could be KOTOR related. Moro NL also goes on to say that Aspyr in recent years have been hiring a lot of ex-BioWare developers. BioWare was of course the creator of the original KOTOR game, as well as SWTOR that is still currently being worked on. This information comes from a Russian website that shows screenshots of at least 9 ex-BioWare developers, many of whom worked on Star Wars: The Old Republic and are now in senior positions at Aspyr, working in the Unreal Engine on an exciting unannounced project. Finally, he goes on to say that Aspyr has worked on multiple Star Wars projects in the past, a few of which I mentioned earlier in the video, so it wouldn't really come as much of a surprise to hear them working on a new game, especially since Lucasfilm Games opened up the license. Whilst absolutely nothing is confirmed yet, it seems very likely that Aspyr is the one working on this new KOTOR game, but it's best to just not believe anything until we see actual confirmation from official sources. It feels like we could get some kind of announcement in the next few months, perhaps even on May 4th, but until then I'll cover any more leaks and rumours we hear about it, provided that there's actually new information. If or when there's an official announcement, then I'll be sure to let you all know as soon as possible, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel with those notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on that. But until then, take it all with a grain of salt, and it's probably best not to believe anything. It is just very exciting to think about. That is it from me today though, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.